Imagine you're having a conversation with someone who seems perfectly normal. They smile, they nod, they say all the right things, but deep inside, something in you twists, tightens. You can't explain it. There's no reason to be afraid. And yet you are. It's like you're not just talking to a person, you're standing in front of something wearing a mask. Carl Jung believed this wasn't just a feeling, it was a warning. This person, Jung said, might not even know the danger they carry. And worse, neither do you. Jung wasn't afraid of criminals. He wasn't worried about unstable minds or obvious evil. That would be too easy. The most dangerous kind of person, he warned, is much harder to recognize. They often appear kind, helpful, empathetic, maybe even wise. But behind that carefully crafted mask is something terrifying. Someone who has never faced their own darkness. In Jung's words, they have not made peace with their shadow. The shadow is the part of you that lives in the dark, not just your anger or jealousy, but your hidden wounds, your suppressed instincts, and even your unused gifts. Your boldness, your power, your raw creativity. Everything you've buried because the world told you it's too much, too dangerous, too unacceptable. Most people ignore the shadow. They don't want to look at what they've hidden. But here's the problem. The more you repress your shadow, the stronger it becomes. Not inside you, outside. Because what you don't accept in yourself, you start to see everywhere else. You begin to project. You say others are selfish. When it's your own selfishness you're denying. You attack someone's arrogance because deep down you're terrified of your own need for recognition. You hate people who lie because you've been lying to yourself. This is the dangerous person Jung warned us about. Not the obvious villain, but the seemingly good person who believes they are always the victim, always right, always morally clean. They aren't aware of what drives them, and that unconsciousness is exactly what makes them dangerous. It begins with little things, judgments, criticisms, a sense of superiority. But over time, it turns toxic. These people drain you. They confuse you. They twist the truth until you start to question your own mind. You feel guilty when you shouldn't. You feel small without knowing why, and all the while, they believe they're helping you. They're not evil in the way we usually think of evil. They're unconscious. But what is unconscious rules us, without our permission. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Throughout history, the greatest horrors weren't committed by cartoon villains. They were carried out by people who believed they were doing good. People who believed they were righteous, while projecting their shadow onto entire groups of people. The witch hunts, the purges, the genocides, all driven by people who were certain they were saving the world, while they were actually destroying it. But you don't have to look at history to see this. It's in relationships, families, friendships. A parent who failed in life constantly criticizes their child for not doing enough. A partner who feels worthless inside but blames their spouse for being distant. These are people at war, not with others, but with themselves. And here's the truth. Most don't want to face. We all do this. All of us project. All of us have a shadow. The question is, do we have the courage to face it? Jung didn't want us to hunt down dangerous people. He wanted us to understand them, to see their unconscious behavior clearly so we don't get pulled into it. And worse, so we don't become it. Because the most dangerous person isn't always someone else. Sometimes it's you. It's you when you say, I'm fine, but secretly feel bitter and unseen. It's you when you lash out and say, you made me feel this way. Instead of looking at where that pain is really coming from, it's you when you pretend to be good, to be a martyr, to be the victim. Because it's easier than admitting you're afraid or ashamed or angry. That's the shadow speaking. Not to be feared, but to be faced. Shadow work, as Jung called it, is not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about looking into the parts of yourself you were told to hide and accepting them. It's hard. It hurts, but it's the only way to become whole. And when you do this work, when you truly begin to integrate your shadow, you become powerful in a new way. Not manipulative, not controlling, but unshakable. You're no longer triggered by every insult. You don't shrink when others disapprove. You stop being pulled into drama because you see it for what it is, a mirror of someone else's unconsciousness. Now here's something difficult to hear. You might be drawn to dangerous people for a reason. You might feel addicted to their chaos, their charm, their energy, because part of you, deep down, resonates with it. It mirrors something unresolved in you. But once you start to own your shadow, that attraction fades. You stop seeking validation from people who can't give it. You stop trying to fix people who don't want to be healed. You become grounded, like a mountain in the storm. You don't react, you respond. You don't chase peace, you carry it within. This is what Jung meant by becoming whole. By becoming a self, not just an ego, not just a persona, but a complete human being with light and dark, shadow and soul. And when you reach that place, something incredible happens. You become immune to manipulation, to guilt, to the projections of others, and in that strength you begin to shine a light, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. You become the rare kind of person Jung truly believed in. Not perfect, but conscious. And in today's world, that kind of person is not just powerful, they are revolutionary.